widdz here, and in today's second video of the day, it's time for another catalyst build, since they did fix it in the last patch. This time around, I am gonna use a gun I haven't used since they actually released it, and it is pretty meta, and I feel like people are loving it. And after playing it, I can understand why. So in this video, I will go through two different builds with it. There will be some gameplay, but I have recorded around 10 minutes using the build and talking about it, so you can find that on my second YouTube channel, widdz TV. So we're gonna start off the video going through the catalyst mask, how to get it, how it works, and all of that. So it got weapon damage, hazard protection, and status effect as attributes, so you can't swap those around. So if you take a look at the actual talent, can go from the bottom. I just think that's a bit simpler. So we have stabilizer, so when you burn, you can maintain ADS without disruption. Meaning usually when you get on fire, you can only hip fire, but with this mask, you can ADS. Which is actually hella nice. So perfect, especially against cleaners, of course. Then we have reactant, which at max stacks, killing a status affected enemy grants bonuses for 5 seconds, being 25% bonus armor and 20% reload speed. Worth to note is that every kill will refresh this, but you can't get more than 25% bonus armor from it. So if you have 25% bonus armor, you kill an enemy, you will still only have 25% bonus armor, but it's refreshed. So right now we have it at max. We kill an NPC, we get the bonus armor. We kill another NPC, you see the bonus armor stays the same. So it's not like it's 25% armor on kill. It is just 25%. So I mean, if you're fighting and you kill NPC, you get the bonus armor, which looks bugged now. But then if they shoot you, so you lose it and kill it again, a second later, then of course you get 25% more. So it is still pretty good. It's just that you can't stack it up like Bloodsucker, for example. So those are two effects that are pretty strong that I feel like a lot of people are kind of not talking about or forgetting about, because that does add value to the mask. Then we have, of course, the catalysis or chemical agent. So when you deal and receive status effects, you will build stacks of catalysis to a maximum of 12. So each stack giving you 2% weapon damage and status effect. So 24% at max. This was bugged before and only gave you around 2%, so now it gives you the full value. Each enemy within 25 meters that is affected by a status effect grants +1 stack per second. Being affected by status effects yourself will grant 2 stacks a second. Stacks do decay though at 1 stack per second after 5 seconds if no enemies in the radius or you are affected by status effects. So a downside with that is that you have to be in a 25-meter radius. Which is, I mean, as you can see here, it is pretty long. But of course, with an LMG, you can be shooting at even longer ranges. But I mean, most of the time, you are gonna be in range. So just keep that in mind, you gotta be in 25-meter radius. And if you're wondering how to actually get this catalyst mask, it is DLC exclusive to Battle for Brooklyn. So you have to either kill open world named bosses in Brooklyn that have probably a 1% chance or something like that. Or the best bet is to do Army Terminal, where you kill the last boss. You have a 8 to 10% chance, I think, for heroic for it to drop. To the actual weapon, which is the blue screen. And you can see I have even expertise is 230. And haven't used it, as I said before, since it basically came out. It comes with LMG damage, of course, and target out of cover as a base, as LMG does. So we put damage to armor on the third attribute. Good optimal range, lower rate of fire, of course, but otherwise pretty good. Take a look at the gear mods. They are not that good actually. Reload speed, rate of fire, weapon handling, stability. There's no crit on it, so your crit is gonna be lower, but it does make up with it on the base damage and mag size and RPM, so keep that in mind. And if you don't know how blue screen works, basically you shoot the targets and you will get stacks. So 1 to 10 stacks, it's basically pulse. 11 to 25, you pulse and disrupt the marked targets. And 26 to 49 stacks, it's pulse, disrupt, and disorient. And at 50 stacks, you both pulse, disrupt, and disorient the marked targets, and all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked targets for 5 seconds, right? So an AoE effect. And this effect will trigger immediately if any marked enemies is killed. So kinda how you wanna play it. It's a little bit similar to negotiators, which I think this set does work pretty well with. But you basically just wanna mark everything, and then you shoot tanky targets, basically. And worth to note as well, I will probably show gameplay of this, but marking targets, and then you use a skill such as decoy, or even the revive hive works good. Put the decoy down and put it up, and you will trigger the CC effects. And also, of course, killing the targets will trigger the CC effects. So an extremely good gun when it comes to like pretty decent damage, not the best in the game, but the talent alone makes it a CC machine. And combining this with Catalyst means you're gonna put the targets on CCs, especially disoriented or disrupt, at 11 stacks. So you will have an easy time to keep Catalyst up at max as long as you are in 25-meter radius. That is the downside. But I've been playing it for a bit and I have had no issues with it, and it's been a really fun gun to use. But that's how blue screen works and how it synergizes with Catalyst. I guess worth to note as well is that if you don't want to use the blue screen, you can use Carnage. Same things apply here as well. Carnage is a named weapon, so I would farm Countdown for that. So perfect sadist, 35% to bleeding enemies, and after 3 kills you apply bleed as well. Since ongoing is applying bleed all the time, we're gonna have this active all the time, and it is really good damage, and a gun I did use before. So for the most damage, Carnage will deal more than a blue screen. The next thing in the build is 4-piece ongoing directive. I'm pretty sure you already guessed that. So 2-piece gives you 15% status effect, 3-piece gives you 30% reload speed, which is such an underrated talent. In this case though, we have a 200 round mag, so we're not gonna be reloading too often, but still. The 4-piece, so if you shoot a status effect enemy, you will apply a mark, and if you kill that marked enemy, it will give you a full clip of hollow point ammo for your active weapon, and half of that clip will go to your party members, and the marks last for 10 seconds. Also, the ammo gives you bleed, right? But it also amplifies the weapon damage by 20%, so you will be buffing your teammates by 20% amp damage, which is huge. So this build have so far really good CC, pretty good damage, and also buffing your teammates damage. We do take a look at the chest talent. This increased the hollow point ammo to 50% amplified damage instead of 20, so 30%. But this one is only for yourself and not your team, so your team will still be getting that 20%. So extremely good synergy here as well, because we get another status effect from the bleed ammo. We're also putting out even more status effects, so it's extremely easy to trigger the 4-piece on ongoing directive. So you will have all of that basically up all the time. We do take a look at the stats priority. We are going 6 red for this build, so damage support buildish. Attributes is gonna be critical hit chance and critical hit damage. That's just the name of Division 2. We are gonna have a bit lower critical hit chance and critical hit damage, so I would suggest you guys to go below by 10% of max. I'm currently around 54 critical hit chance and 91% critical hit damage. Of course, you do want to have max crit chance, but the crit chance to crit damage ratio is around 1 to 2. So keep that in mind. So you don't have max crit chance and like barely any crit hit damage. So that's where we're at right now. Blue screen, Catalyst, and 4-piece ongoing directive. Then the last slot, which you do have a bit more options for, but I think in this case, this is kind of the way to do it. And that is Seska. And on that one, you will of course get both critical hit chance and critical hit damage. You also get 8% critical hit chance on the brand set, which this time around, since we have so low crit chance, is extremely valuable. As a talent for this damage one, Wicked makes a lot of sense. Applying a status effect increased total weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds. As we mentioned before, you're gonna have status effect on every single target like all the time, so this is gonna have like 100% uptime. So that is kind of the first build, which is a pretty cookie cutter blue screen Catalyst ongoing build. Nothing too crazy, but it is super fun to play and good damage and yeah, useful for your team. Before we go to the second build though, which is a bit different, we can go through the skills. I think Revive Hive, I always almost use that, but in this case it is also really nice just to trigger the blue screen by putting it down, and then you can just easily pick it up and you can put it down again to trigger it. So really easy way to trigger the blue screen stacks. Second one, I have decoy, but I do feel like the second option is quite open. But I mean, it takes aggro pretty fast to trigger the blue screen as well. Only 20% duration on the cooldown. But I mean, this slot is quite open. I mean, you could do like smart cover maybe if you sit in smart cover. The duration is longer, but you do have your hive. It's just that we can't use a shield with LMG, so yeah. In terms of specialization, there's nothing crazy or new going on here. We're just gonna go with Gunner because it is the best PV spec. You have 5% rate of fire on kill for 5 seconds. You have 10% armor on kill. And you have 50% faster reload every third time. And then make sure you get the 15% LMG damage. I guess in this scenario as well, you could be using the Banshee Pulse, adding even more CC for your team. Then we have the second build, which does not look exactly like this, but it's actually... But I wanted to try to make like some type of support build, and I don't know exactly what to think about this one, but there is some really cool synergies, and it does give your teammates so much bonus armor and safety, especially for like countdown. Your damage will be low though, but yeah. So we are still gonna be using blue screen just to get the CC, so we can be a CC machine, same as before. Still using 4-piece ongoing. This time around though, we're gonna go everything to blue. On second attribute, I don't think crit chance or crit damage is the way to go. I do think putting status effect would be the route for this one, because your damage will be extremely low. So you will just put the longer CC. Then we have a new addition, which is Tardigrade. And I mean, as a exclusive 6 red player kinda, I do like having the blues so I can do different stuff that I usually don't do. But yeah, in case you don't know Tardigrade, when your armor goes to 0, you will get 80% of your armor as bonus armor, and this works for your teammates as well. There's a 45-second cooldown, but killing an enemy with your specialization weapon removes this cooldown for all allies, which I am gonna show you. Pretty good synergy right there. See if this works. Yeah, right there you can see the bonus armor. We should be 6 blues on this. We will get to that soon though. So yeah, the issue is the 45-second cooldown, right? Obviously the issue here is gonna be the damage, but this time around we are playing Survivalist, and it actually have a lot of cool synergies for this build. For example, group members get 10% damage to targets with status effects, so that will buff your teammates even more since you are gonna have them on status effect all the time basically. 10% increased protection from elite, so you are a bit tankier. Of course, your armor kit will heal your teammates as well, have increased outgoing healing as well. We have the incendiary grenade, really good for CC. And then we have this one right here, right? Killing enemies under status effect adds 3 to the ammo bar, except from signature weapons. So all the kills you get will add specialization ammo. And I played this solo, different versions of it, and I mean, I literally had infinity amount of specialization ammo. So I guess you probably see where I'm going. 45-second cooldown per ally, but if you use a specialization weapon and kill something with it, it removes the cooldown for all allies. So that is a pretty cool synergy in my opinion. Of course, our damage is lacking though, but yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this build because I think there's a lot of synergy. So that is the synergy right there. Then on the backpack, I have been playing with... I actually met the guy randomly in Countdown, and then he asked if we could play another one after that, and then I linked his stream, and then yeah, he started watching the stream. We played a lot, and he's playing a support build, not like this though, but more utility, and he used Galvanized a lot. And he made Countdown so much easier. And we are gonna put stuff on status effect all the time. And this one will give 40% of your armor as bonus armor to allies. And we're gonna be 6 blue, because we're not gonna use Seska. And as long as they are within 20 meters of that enemy for 10 seconds, right? So you will literally be putting bonus armor to your teammates every 10 seconds. And there is a name piece that I have been farming, but it haven't dropped. But there is a name piece with electric gear set, which is actually pretty decent because it gives you 10% status effect damage, right? So it's not completely useless. For this build, it makes sense. And that one gives you 50% of your armor as bonus armor, and it's 30 range instead of 20. So quite a big deal, especially in Countdown. So that's the backpack I want to have for this one. So that will give them a lot of bonus armor. Of course, the Tardigrade one might not be ideal. You could use something. You could use Vanguard instead. Then of course you need to have a shield with you. You just deploy it and you get give 45% of your armor as bonus armor to your other allies for 20 seconds. So that's a way you can put it up all the time. But honestly, having Tardigrade, even if you don't get too much specialization kills, it will still be really good for your team and give them that safety. So that's kind of how this build works synergy wise. In terms of skills, Fortified is actually pretty good, at least for yourself. But I mean, it might not be ideal to play with teammates because people want to cover. But even at 0 tears, right, it gives you 50% bonus armor. And when you are 6 blue, we are 5 in this case though, but that's pretty decent armor, bonus armor. And then in case you lose it, you just go in again. And again. You know? And it's not the best, but it's still... And now we have a duration of 8 seconds with an 8-second cooldown. So, I mean, that is still, like, more than enough for people to burst. But I think that kind of covers the second build. It's honestly just something I was looking at. Definitely not the best, but I mean, it is something different and it will definitely work. But I just wanted to put a short segment with that. Because, I mean, the first build is pretty obvious, I think, and probably a lot of people covered it. So I wanted to add in something a little bit more unique. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to watch more gameplay, make sure to go to my second channel at widdz TV on YouTube. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video or live on my stream at twitch.tv/widdz.